I've told my mother, I've told my friend, but I can't bring myself to tell you what I think. We build a past.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another cook and clean with me. You guys are always saying how much you love the cooking and the cleaning videos, and I'm excited because this video is going to be sponsored by HelloFresh. So I hope you guys enjoy this recipe and this cleaning, and that it gives you a lot of motivation to get some things done around your own house, or maybe even a new fun recipe to try. So before I started cooking, I felt like I needed to get the clutter put up because this area just always gets so cluttered. This is where we come in from the garage to the kitchen every day, and so we always just throw our things up on the counter. It's kind of our throw all spot. So I wanted to get it a little bit decluttered, and I wanted to go ahead and empty out the dishwasher. I usually do this in the mornings, but we had a very busy day this day, so I was unloading it now. And then that way, after dinner, when we start cleaning, I can just load up the dishwasher and it saves me a little bit of time. But I would love to hear if you guys have a throw-all spot that just constantly gets cluttered up in your own house, and if you have any suggestions about how to keep it clean and tidy, because obviously this is something that is repeated in every single video, and honestly it really does not bother me, but I would love to hear if you guys have any suggestions on how you keep your little areas like this clean. Another little trick that I like to do whenever I am loading the dishwasher, we try to put all of the things that go together when I'm putting up dishes in the same spot in the dishwasher, if that makes sense. So I'll put all the cups on the left side. I usually try to put the bowls on the right side, etc. So that way when I'm unloading the dishwasher, I am grabbing them all from the same area, and that way it's a lot faster when I'm putting dishes up.
My heart is only playing on a single string.
And now that the kitchen is all picked up, we are ready to cook, and I'm going to be cooking meatloaf a la mom, which is a HelloFresh recipe, and HelloFresh did sponsor this video, so thank you to HelloFresh for sending us this meal kit. We were super excited because we are so busy and we have all kinds of sports going on right now, so I'm sure that you guys are super busy, if not more busy than we are, so this just makes it easy, especially if I could just do it one time out of the month, possibly more than that sometimes, but it just makes my life so much easier to not have to like plan out meals and prepare for them. The meals come straight to your door, and then they are all pre-portioned out, and I just follow the recipe card, and it just makes my life so easy. Another thing that I like about HelloFresh is that I get to try out new recipes that I wouldn't have tried before. I don't usually like to make meatloaf, but this recipe was so good, and I will always just save the recipe card, so that way when we are planning out our meals for the month, we can go through and look in that section of our binder and plan out any of the HelloFresh meals that we want to recreate on our own. For this particular recipe, we went ahead and washed off all of our produce. I peeled our potato, and then we are going to cut up our potato, our carrots lengthwise, and then our shallot. Another thing is whenever I'm doing HelloFresh meals, I always just use the bag that all the stuff came in as my little trash bag as I'm cooking and cleaning. This way I save a lot of the cleanup for afterwards. I just take that bag and throw it in the trash, and most of the mess is already cleaned up. Next, you take your vegetables and you put them on separate sheet pans, the potatoes on one and the carrots on another, and then drizzle them with olive oil, and then toss them a little bit in the olive oil so it gets all soaked into the vegetables. And I shared in another video, but we use these reusable baking sheets on top of our sheet pans, and this just keeps us from using a ton of tin foil. They're washable, reusable. I've had them for several years, so I will have a link to those below from Amazon down in my description box. Then you're going to bake your carrots on the top rack and the potatoes on the middle rack for about 20 to 25 minutes, and your oven should be at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Now for the meatloaf, we just put our ground beef in a bowl, and then half of the shallot that we cut up earlier, we ended up grating and putting that in there along with some thyme and half a cup of panko breadcrumbs, salt and pepper, and then you're just going to mix it all together and then form 2 separate meatloaf patties. When your carrots have been cooking for about 7 minutes, you'll pull them out and push them to one side of the pan and then put the meatloaf patties on there with the carrots, and then brush on some ketchup, about a tablespoon on each patty, and then put it back into the oven for the remaining amount of time. While the rest of your food is cooking in the oven, we're going to go ahead and start on the gravy, and you're just going to melt a half a tablespoon of butter in a pan. So we just did that here, and then you're putting in some minced shallot, so that's the other half of the shallot from earlier, some thyme, and then you're going to cook that until it has softened for about 3 to 4 minutes. Next, you sprinkle in some flour, and then after that has been mixed together really well, you put in your beef concentrate and half a cup of water and whisk that all together until it starts to bubble up and thicken for about 3 to 4 minutes. Now for our family, we do the 2 servings when we order, just because our kids don't eat a lot of food, and these portion sizes are very generous, so we always end up with plenty of food. And if for some reason the kids don't like whatever the meal is that we're cooking, then we end up having leftovers between just Chance and I. So I definitely think if your kids don't eat a ton, you could get away with just 2 servings, but depending on how much your kids eat, you may want to go to 3 or 4 servings. So this recipe turned out amazing, and the entire family loved it and ate every single bit of it. I actually got some more carrots this week, which you'll see in my next grocery haul, to make the carrots like this again because they were so delicious. And then that gravy on top of the meatloaf definitely made this meal. And I am so excited because HelloFresh is actually offering you guys 6 free HelloFresh meals if you use my coupon code. It's Darley80, and you can use the link in the description box to just go to the website and put in that code for 6 free meals. But y'all let me know if you end up ordering and what you think of HelloFresh, because I'm telling you guys, I really think that you will love it and you'll get addicted like I have. And I'm hoping that everything that I share on my channel is beneficial for you. So I would love to know if you've either tried HelloFresh or if you plan on using my code to get yourself some meals for free. So we have obviously started the cleanup process, and like I said earlier, I love the fact that I don't have a ton to clean up after we've done the meals, but I always start by loading our dishwasher, and the kids actually always put their dishes in the sink, and then sometimes they'll put them in the dishwasher. Kaysen's really good about that, but Gracie June can't quite rinse her dishes off yet unless she has a stool, so usually I do that for her. And we always run our dishwasher whenever it's full. We'll run it at night, and we usually put it on a 4-hour delay, so it's running after we've already had baths and showers and all of that, so our water is still hot. Next, I will wash any dishes that need to be washed by hand, which is usually just our pots and pans and knives. So I'll go ahead and do that. And then I'm using the Mrs. Meyers honeysuckle scent for this. This is my absolute favorite scent, but I did get a Grove Collaborative order in, so I will be doing a Grove Collaborative haul for you guys. And you can see all the products that I use and had to restock up on. And then plus all of my spring scents came in, so I cannot wait to share that with y'all. Cleaning my sink is one of the most satisfying parts of cleaning my kitchen, and I think it's because, one, we have dishes in there quite often, and then also because it's white, and I just love the fact that after I've cleaned it, it's nice and shiny and it smells great too.
We're going under, there's nothing we can do. The final hour before we let it go to rest. It's such a heartbeat pounding in your chest in this story.
Now I'm going to be using all of my favorite products to clean down my kitchen, and I'm just using the Method Daily Granite Cleaner on my granite countertops, and then I did have a mess on the stove from cooking, so I'm going to be using the Degreaser by Method. You guys suggested this to me, and I've been using it recently. I used to use the multi-surface spray, but I started using this degreaser and I love it. I feel like it actually leaves my stovetop so much cleaner and streak-free. I definitely recommend this one if you've never tried it. And then for my stainless steel appliances, I always use the Method Steel for Real. And then for our wood countertops, I use the Method Wood for Good cleaner. And another thing that I get questions about a lot are what kind of rags I use. And whenever I'm using products, I usually use these, they're actually just surgical cloths. They're blue surgical cloths that my husband brings home from the hospitals. A lot of you nurses and other people that work in hospitals, you guys say that you do this too, but my husband brings them home. He is in orthopedic sales, so he's up there all the time. So we have a huge tub of blue cloths in our garage, and I keep about a handful, well, I say a handful, probably about 10 to 15 in our cleaning cabinet, and then the rest are out in our garage, and I just go through these like crazy. So I always switch these out. You guys will see me using blue cloths all the time, and it's not that I'm using the same exact cloth. I have switched them out, and I just don't always show y'all that part. Now, I don't actually clean off our wood countertop every single night. I try to do this every few days, but I'm going to go ahead and put up the dishes that I wash by hand so I can wipe down our countertop.
We're going up. We're going under, and there's nothing we can do.
Now that the kitchen is all clean, I'm moving on to the breakfast area, and I'm just using the Mrs. Meyers multi-surface spray and the honeysuckle scent on our tabletop, and then I'm going to vacuum with my Dyson V7. You guys are always asking about this too, and I've always told you guys, if there's one cleaning product that you need to invest in, it is a Dyson, because they are so great and I love having it. And then after I vacuum, I'm going to show you guys my new mop, which I'm so excited to tell y'all about.
It's such a heartbeat pounding in your chest. This story.
Okay, so this is my new mop. It's the O-Cedar Spin Mop, and I am telling you guys, this thing is amazing. I got it for $29 at Target, and I am so happy with it. I was asking you guys for suggestions for a mop, and a lot of people suggested this mop to me, and actually when I was talking about it on Instagram, I think I got more DMs about this mop than I've gotten about any other conversation I've ever had over there. But the reason I was wanting a new mop was because every time I used my Bona mop and had to do all of my floors at one time, my back would start hurting. So I still think that the Bona mop is great for spot cleaning, but if you're going to be doing a ton of floors at one time, then I definitely suggest getting the O-Cedar mop, because after I was done, it was just, I promise you, it was so easy on your back. And because you can like soak it in the water and then wring out as much as you need to, then you're not constantly scrubbing your floors in one area. It's just as wet as you need it to be, and it works really good. So I'll leave a link in the description box for this mop in case you guys are looking for a new one too. Alright y'all, so that is it for this cook and clean with me. I hope you enjoyed the recipe and that you will try it out with your family, and then that it gave you some extreme cleaning motivation. And don't forget to use my link in the description box and my coupon code for HelloFresh so that you can take advantage of getting those 6 free meals. I definitely think this is something that you need to try out at least once, because you are not locked in, and then you can see if it works for you and if it makes your life so much easier. I know it makes cooking at home for my family so much more convenient. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!
You had a bite?
Yeah, I did.
You weren't supposed to.
Thought we were sharing. You're not going to share with me? Huh?
How behind my milk?
So good. Cheesecake is my favorite. So for my birthday, they got me praline cheesecake from a place called Baker's Pride here in Savannah. It's so good. Chance decided that he would share with me.